Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We are learning Mishna Kesubos, Perek Yud Gimel, chapter 13, Mishnah Daled, Mishnah 4. Now, introduction. When one person claims that another person owes him money, whether it be he owes him money or goods, and the person that he's making the claim against admits that he owes part of that amount. So if I say you owe me $100, and you say, no, 50. I paid 50, but I still owe you 50. So he admits to part of the claim. Okay? So he must pay the part that he admits to, and he has to make a shvu, an oath, denying that he owes the rest. And that is what we call maida b'miktsas, one who admits to part. He admits to part of the claim. Now, according to Torah law, if somebody says to you, you owe me $100, or $100 of worth of oil or wine, whatever it may be, and you say, no, I don't owe you anything, then according to Torah law, there's no shvua, there's no oath. You deny, finished. But in a situation where a person makes a claim against you for 100, and you admit to part of it, then not only are you admitting to part of it, you're actually giving support to the rest of the claim. And therefore, there the Torah says that after you pay for what you admit to, you have to swear to the part you deny. And if you decide not to swear, if you don't want to swear, you're going to have to pay that part too. Okay? However, the halacha is that if I say to you, you owe me $100 worth of wheat, and you say, no, I owe you $100 or $50 or whatever of barley, which means I claimed one thing and your response and your admitting was in something else. That will not obligate the person to make a shvua about what he says. The person says, you owe me wheat, and he says barley. We don't say that, well, the fact that he admitted to something lays support to his claim. No. The halacha is it's got to be the same type of thing. If it's not the same type of thing, then you say one thing, he says another thing. There is no obligation there to make a shua, to make an oath. Now, with that, we start the Mishnah. Hatoyin es chaverei kadei shemen. One makes a claim against his friend for kadei shemen, which means for jugs of oil. You owe me, let's say he says, you owe me 10 jugs of oil. V'hoide bekankanim. And the person he made the claim against admitted to the jugs, meaning he says, I don't owe you any oil, but I owe you jugs. So he said, you owe me 10 jugs of oil, and the person responded, I owe you 10 jugs with no oil. Okay, so now the question is this considered maida b'miktsas? Is this considered admitting to a part? Do we have here the claim and the admittance in the same regard in the same type of claim, or is it considered a different claim? So Adman Oimer, Adman said, Adman is the one we're talking about, one of the judges that we started off the parak about. He said, Hoyo v'hoida b'miktsas hataina, being that he admitted in part to the claim against him, Yishava, you swear. What was the claim? The claim was, you owe me 10 jugs of oil. What did he say? I don't owe you oil, but I owe you jugs. So Adman says, that's maida b'miktsas. The claim was jugs of oil, and he said jugs. That's the Adman says that's called admitting to this to the claim. The Chachamim say, Ein zoi haida miminataina. This is not considered admitting to the same type of thing that was claimed against him. The Chachamim say, the sages say, that if I admit to you, you say 10 jugs of oil, and my response is 10 jugs, and that's it, no oil, just 10 jugs, the Chachamim say, you're not admitting to the same type of claim. So that's interesting. The person said 10 jugs of oil, and you responded 10 jugs. Isn't that the same claim?
No.
The answer is like this. The answer is that really the argument here between Adman and the Chachamim is that when there is a claim of 10 jugs of oil, that's the claim, right? What am I actually claiming? Am I claiming oil and jugs? Am I claiming an amount of 10 jugs of oil and the 10 jugs. I'm claiming both. Or when I say 10 jugs of oil, I'm not even talking about the jugs. I'm just talking about the amount of oil that you owe. But I didn't mean to claim the jugs. So according to Admon says, no. When you claim 10 jugs of oil, you are claiming both things, the jugs and the oil. And therefore, when you admit to the jugs, you're admitting to part of the claim, because the claim was these two things, the jugs and the oil. That was the claim. And they go together. And you're admitting to part of the claim. So you got to swear. The Chachamim say this is not admitting to the same type of the claim. Because according to the Chachamim, the claim is the oil. And the mentioning of jugs is just an amount. And what does he say? Oh, I owe you jugs. He never claimed jugs. And therefore, since it's not admitting into the same thing, to the same type of thing as the claim was made on, there's no shua, there's no oath. Amar Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Gamliel said, Raya ani estivrei admain. I see the words of Admain. That means I see Adman as being correct. That it is a claim on both the oil and the jugs, and therefore it is admitting to the jugs, is admitting to part of the same type of thing that the claim was made on. And the halacha here is like Admain. That's the halacha here is like Admain, not like the Chachamim. That in this kind of case, it is considered being made of mikzas, being admitting in part to the claim, and it's considered that you're admitting to the same thing that was part of the claim. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You got to make a claim